What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back for round 3 of the FNM MxBikes Motocross Series. Round 3 at Abydos. With me, my co-host, my brother Trevor. We're getting into it. We are excited and ready. I hope you guys are too. I do know that there is going to be some people out that are normally in it. I think J-Mac will actually make Moto 2. And we're still waiting for people to join. They got, 10 minutes here. And we'll do a little, Trevor, you riding the track at all?
I can. Absolutely can.
Take us through a sight lap. We got Death gonna take us on a sight lap here for Abydos GP. Gonna be a good, long, battling track. Wide open, big jumps, deep sand, rhythms, tight corners. Gonna be awesome. Good little sand section or rhythm section with the whoops right here, and do a double. Some nice booters. And what do you think the key move is for this track, Trev? Do you think a 250 or 450 would be the absolute play?
Me, I'm grinding everything I can out of the 250 and allowing that momentum without the weight of the 450 will carry me through, because I think that's the key to this race here at Abydos, is actually carrying the momentum through the sand sections and staying relatively smooth and making sure that momentum doesn't falter.
Absolutely.
There it is, a full lap.
Not too shabby. Hoping we get some more riders in here. Right now we only have 2. Where is everybody?
If I have to, I will race.
Bro, if I have to, I will race and commentate.
Going back to the pits.
We're gonna go and watch Kyle Lee here as he is warming up.
He's looking good on that 450 on the Husky.
Yeah, he is.
Seems like he's keeping it in a higher gear so that he can keep up that momentum. good. If anything, we can do this as an optional training. You know, practice.
Oh my god. All right. So there is, yeah, still Small Fry is on his way home. He got off work a little late, so he's on his way home. So hopefully some people will be able to make it for Moto 2. Or we just do one more practice, give them a little extra time.
Let's say we do one more practice, give them some extra time.
Yeah, we'll do one more practice. Brad, I see Brad playing Rocket League instead of on here, so I don't know if he's racing. A lot of other people that said that they wanted to race and be in this, they're on other games.
Well, you did say that they couldn't enter round 3 if they didn't go in round 2.
That is true. But I did, yeah, I was giving it the benefit of a doubt, but then what is it here? We will do, we'll do one more warm up length. Yeah, Steven in Discord. You should like move it to Monday, next Monday. I will be at Spring-a-Ding in Texas, leaving this Saturday and won't be home until that Monday. So I don't know if I'll even be like ready to do that or here at home on time to do that. we can try, but it won't be until the 16th or the 7th. Yeah, the 16th. That's why I posted this on Monday. No one said anything, so I figured, okay, they all saw it. No one needs me to change it. We're good to go. And now people are just now commenting on it.
Are we live?
We are. We've been live.
Let's just see who shows up and see what to do. If we need to move it, we move it. It's fine.
We got Tyler is in here. So yeah, people are starting to get in here, so we'll give it this time. And I did rally up some of the points from the first 2 rounds. And as we all know, we have J-Mac as a points leader with 100 points. Steven with 68 points. Kyle Lee with 82 in third. Then we have Tefty, who has 59 points in fourth. Toasty with 36 points. Small Fry, or Scuba Steve with CK with 28 points, and then right behind him, Small Fry, Scuba Steve with 24 points. Some people unfortunately missed last round, but did race the first round, so those are kind of the points that I was able to get like so far, and we'll get more in depth, especially after this race as well, to be more precise on it. But that is the points leaders so far right now, ladies and gentlemen. Gonna be a nice clear day. Let's go down to the track while these guys are doing their warm-up. You know what? I'm gonna take a lap myself. Why not?
You deserve it.
I deserve a lap. A lap or two. Hopefully try not to embarrass myself too much here. Let's get it going.
I've dug the front end right into the ground, Chase Sexton style.
Ooh. Hip and back issues now. Did you see that he is not going to be in this next round this weekend at Indiana?
Yeah.
Indianapolis. Indiana. Indy. Definitely like this track just because it's like, it's open, but it's tight with a lot of rhythm. Sand is just a huge factor. So hopefully...
I feel like a lot of this is also body positioning in these sweeping corners.
Oh, absolutely. Looks like Kyle Lee is starting to get on my rear wheel here.
He's coming after you like your ass is grass, and he's gonna mow it.
Absolutely. Like a fat kid on cake, Cotton.
Incredible.
And he passes me with ease. That is
the goat.
That is why he is top 3 in points right there, and I am a commentator. Whew! Should have put the paddle tire on. I'm running a stock tire here, basically.
I've only run stock builds. I've never even learned how to do builds.
I went down extra hard there. Right now I'm behind CK. He took the outside there.
Ooh, I got a new best. 158.
Oh, I washed out the front tire going to that corner, battling a little bit with CK there.
You can get that first triple launch in that sand roller section. It gives you so much momentum.
Oh! Get out of here, Kyle. I'm going to take you out on the outside. Oh, God. That man is fast. And it looks like Scuba Steve hopped on MxBikes, so that's another rider coming in.
Scuba Steve doing pretty good last round.
Last round, he was not there. He was DNS, did not start.
I mean, the last round I saw him in, of course, Cotton.
Of course, Cotton.
Time is a flat circle.
Like the Earth. What?
Jesus Christ.
Just kidding! All right. It is almost that time. We got Kyle, Lee, CK, and Scuba Steve in here. Death, aka Trevor. It is up to you if you want to take on the reins and race and commentate at the same time.
It just depends on what they want me to do. I won't take any of the points, but I will fill the rider gate. But I can absolutely commentate a battle between... How many do we have? 3 or 4?
We got 3 riders, and I believe J-Mac is going to try to make it for round Moto 2.
Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 riders.
And then Manny just joined in as well. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Moto 1 on the gate.
Moto 1 on the gate, and a lot of points up for grabs for your top 4 right here.
Let me see.
And let's get that gate dropped and get off to the first moto. We are off.
Moto 1, here we go.
Looks like we've got the Husky going down in the first corner. Kyle Lee keeps it up on 2 wheels and begins to chase down the other 2.
Absolutely. It looks like CK did, in fact, get out clean, and he is leading the race right now on his Yamaha. Absolutely barking, tripling in to the sand rhythm section here.
And Kyle Lee is right behind on that Husky 450, really charging through in these sandy conditions. We're definitely seeing the 450 coming through clutch as it is chasing down the number 1 of CK and pushing to that inside. I believe that pass has been made. We'll see if he can put up a contention for that first place position. Oh, and he's battling back, coming back into Kyle's periphery, but Kyle indeed secures the pass as they begin to chase one another around Abydos.
Absolutely. This track is definitely one to really mess with your physical and mental strength. So we got to see what these riders can bring for these whole 20-minute plus 2-lap motos. Kyle Lee doing an awesome job as he goes over the finish line for that lap 1, basically the sight lap. So here we go. Oh, it looks like CK did go down in the back there. Kyle needing to make up all the points that he can, being 3rd place in this series with 82 points, just a couple points behind Steven in 2nd place. And if he is able to win both of these motos, it'll only put him closer to J-Mac going into the final round at Monster Mountain at KMX.
Absolutely, and if we're going by the rule system, and if a do not start on Moto 1 ends with a bad podium finish at the end, then we're looking at some serious points that Kyle Lee could be capitalizing on here. Kyle Lee getting a little squirrely there, but he is holding it together. And he is making a massive charge in widening that gap.
Absolutely. Kyle Lee just making this track absolutely look like a playground. And he has been practicing. He did message me the other night saying, this track is gnarly. I've been practicing. I'm getting it down. J-Mac, your time in rain is over.
Incredible, and we love to see the hard work pay off. Unfortunate J-Mac couldn't make Moto number 1, but here we are, and watching Kyle put on a show and trying to capture as many points as possible.
Watching Scuba Steve right now as he's in third, just getting off work, rushing home, hopefully not speeding. Oh, and going into Indonesia.
Absolutely said, let me get a sample of this sand. I want to make sure it tastes nice and delicious, as he took a face full.
Absolutely super crunchy, let me tell you.
Absolutely. Speaking of crunchy, we can see fighting his way to try and minimize that gap is CK here in second. I believe this being the best performance that he's given in the entire series so far. How do you feel about that time?
No, yeah, absolutely. CK did have some connection issues on that in round 2 at Countryside due to internet or something, his computer crashing. So unfortunately, he has a lot to work to make up, but honestly, he is still in the fight and could climb his way up into the top 3, or at least, you know, right there for the fight for third, definitely earning that cash prize.
Absolutely, and getting into the top 3 definitely is something that these guys are chasing for, especially as we're in talks of solidifying a new season and a new series eventually with more dedicated times, as this one was just thrown together for fun with a little cash prize at the end. I think it's going to be a big momentum going forward to the end of the series and then into the next one.
Absolutely.
Definitely a massive ego boost. And I think right now, Kyle Lee definitely needed this race. He needed some time to just be able to feel the track, not deal with the pressure, and just absolutely dominate. And he's looking good doing so.
Definitely. I couldn't agree more. He is absolutely flying with a lead of 31 seconds off of CK in second.
Absolutely. It looks like Kyle Lee is holding onto the handlebars and saying, reveal to me God at the end of my life or show me the checkered.
Indubitably. Oh, great speed around that corner, keeping up his momentum.
I'm telling you, that's the key to this track, is making sure that you're keeping your body weight nice and relative to the bike as it is going over these massive sand braking bumps, and just keeping that momentum up, standing up and moving your way through the corners while putting pressure on that front end as you enter and leaning back as you exit, but not enough to where you completely loop out, but enough to gain traction on that back tire to push you through the section. And right now, Kyle Lee is absolutely putting on a clinic.
I couldn't agree more.
Let's go back and take a look at Scuba Steve and see how he's been putting things together. He is absolutely grinding that 250 for all that it has. And it'll be very interesting to see if he sticks on that 250 for Moto 2.
Yeah, I was surprised, but again, he was rushing, didn't even get to warm up, loaded in, and dropped the gate. Let's go racing. So I wonder if he will make that change. He definitely loves the 250, but for this track being wide open and so fast, you might have to mix it up with the 450.
Absolutely, I can see where that conversation comes into the mix, but I will look at the lap times of the laps that I was putting in on the Kawasaki 250, and that shows that it's proven you can be in the top 3, especially with who's racing right now in Moto number 1. We showed that you can absolutely compete on the 250, but it just depends on how you're racing it, which 250 you're on, and the way you like to adjust your throttle to the different sections. And I think right now we're just seeing Scuba Steve put in some good laps and use this to practice for Moto number 2.
Absolutely, and even though it is 3 of them, it is a 1, 2, 3 positioning with this Moto 1. So these points are going to count for 1, 2, 3. So these guys are going to make up massive points in this moto and possibly this race, and an even bigger chance and opportunity for the final round.
Absolutely. I think we're definitely seeing J-Mac, due to not being able to start in Moto number 1, is definitely going to do everything he can to get in for Moto number 2 and preserve some of those points, because if at least he can beat second and third, he will do enough to try and bring in some sort of points home.
Absolutely, and just with the big enough gap with the 100 points he has compared to Steven, who also isn't here, and I believe he is at Honolulu Hills because there is an area qualifier in Taft this weekend as well. So it does definitely does play a factor, because a lot of these riders are actual riders and competing around the state and in California with their dreams to become professional motocross racers.
Absolutely. And before they can hit the gamut in the real world, they must hit it here in the digital, as we are coming to 10 minutes left in Moto number 1, as Kyle is looking to solidify his place with almost a minute-long lead over second place, really establishing that he is here no matter when the gate drops, and he is ready to race.
Absolutely. And I think all these riders know, like, you know what, hey, there might be 3 of us. We aren't battling that much. Yeah, the gap has definitely, expanded a lot. But I don't mind second place. I don't mind third place or first place with just 3 of us. This is huge. Oh no, CK coming up short and ending up going over the bars there. This track will definitely keep you on your toes.
We'll see if that allows Scuba Steve to start chipping away at that lead. CK trying to keep it on 2 wheels. I will say, you can't say it enough, but Kyle Lee has definitely tried to show up for every single round and perform to the best of his abilities. And we're really getting to see him right now show us the speed that he is capable of. And my God, I gotta say, he looks really solid on the sand. He's picking really smart lines. And I'm really excited to see how he does against J-Mac if J-Mac lines up.
Yeah, absolutely. We do know that even if you do join into the second moto, these guys have gotten 2 10-minute practices and a 20-minute plus 2-lap moto. And will it be enough for Kyle to keep the momentum and beat J-Mac if J-Mac makes it? Or will J-Mac come in and dominate Moto 2? But even then, if he wins, that's only 25 points compared to the 25 points that Kyle Lee would be taking on this moto, and 25 if he wins Moto 2, or 22 points if he takes second. So it is going to come definitely down to the wire.
Absolutely. And you know, if CK and Scuba Steve can try and put something together before Moto 2, using this as kind of a launch pad to give them some momentum going in and a little bit more confidence, then we're definitely going to see J-Mac have to struggle through the pack in order to try and redeem some of those points.
Yeah, Trev. So after doing the math, with Kyle Lee in third place in the championship points, taking this win alone puts him in the red plate position with 107.
I thought we totaled the points over the overall.
We don't. It's each moto.
Oh, incredible.
Yes, so each moto.
Oh, and we've got lap traffic as he goes by Scuba Steve. Nice and amicable.
Great choice of vocabulary, Trev. Definitely love it.
Thanks, I've got a thesaurus open right here because I'm a fucking idiot. Oh man, and we're seeing Kyle Lee is really starting to experiment with some lines. He is looking so smooth, and I think if Scuba Steve can kind of stick close to him, he can start to see the lines that might be more advantageous. Another word from the thesaurus, and I'm very excited.
Absolutely. It definitely goes over my head with my homeschool brain, but you know what? I'm here for it, and we learn every day, let me tell you.
Right, absolutely. My God. Kyle Lee is bouncing off of the walls. He looks like the goddamn Tasmanian devil out there, and we love to see it.
Ooh, could that be a new nickname for Kyle Lee, the Tasmanian devil?
Kyle Lee, the Tasmanian devil. He's basically riding that husky, and you can hear it over the jumps. Or whatever the fucking sound he makes is.
Absolutely.
Back to our sponsor, Sobe Drink. Remember this little lizard guy? What the fuck happened?
Absolutely. Definitely not a sponsor, but oh boy, do we wish.
Oh, absolutely. We wish companies would come back.
Speaking of come back, did you hear the news about Ryan Villapoto going back to Kawasaki, being a brand ambassador, back to his old team? Not just Cowie, but also Thor, his old racing gear as well. And just talking to him in person, he is actually pumped for it. So I think he's going to bring a lot to Team Green going into this season in real life. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. And excuse me, also talking to him a lot more at Springading about it and what he thinks he's going to be kind of doing for Kawasaki. So I'm very excited to hear what he has to say and watch his son
And
Gage.
I can absolutely tell you one thing that he should bring to Kawasaki, and it's a damn championship. Get that man on the gate on a 450. We're desperate to see it back up on the podium position. Ryan, please.
Yeah, that would be fantastic because Garrett Marchbanks could definitely use some help after knowing Chase, obviously, again, will not be in this race coming up. And it looks like Kyle Lee doing the outside 1-footer, keeping the foot off the peg. No footer. Going into those braking bumps with a good whip sesh, throwing it out for the crowd.
He hit a double no footer. Sorry.
Oh, the taunt!
He hit a double no footer.
He did a double no footer with a taunt there.
He did a taunt. He pointed back and he said, "How do you like that? I've lapped first and second. I am on a rampage. You might as well call me King Kong." We've got Kyle the Tasmanian Devil, King Kong, Godzilla Lee in the lead.
Here's another play factor. Who will run out of gas with this big of a track?
Absolutely. Something that a lot of people did not take into account last series round is they absolutely ran out of gas on the lip of a jump. It was incredible. But
I'm pretty sure that was Brad Lee, Kyle Lee's brother, who ran out of gas and on the final lap, just on the lip of one of the last sections of the track at Countryside. Man, Kyle Lee is just absolutely flawless right now. I feel like I'm actually watching a professional rider in real life. It's just so good. It's satisfying.
It really brings a tear to your eye, like Beethoven listening to, or anybody listening to Beethoven's music for the first time. He's really smooth, consistent through the sand sections. And I will say this, I don't think there's a doubt in Kyle's mind that he's got this track put together and is ready to prove himself against J-Mac if they face off in Moto 2. He is looking confident and cool and collected, and that's what he's going to need, along with consistency. Cool, calm, collected, and consistency. The four C's that build a championship. So we'll see if Kyle can put it together in Moto 2, gain some of those points, and put himself up into the red plate standing.
Absolutely. And if you have the time, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the live stream, and make sure you tune into our podcasts how we talk about the SMX season for 2026. Also, a little bit of the amateur scene as well. New podcasts will be up tomorrow morning talking about Daytona. And we actually, I should say, you were spot on with your picks. Let me tell you, you literally listed word for word, name for name of the riders that were going to be top 4 to top 5. Unbelievable.
Right, absolutely. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that I am sexy, cool, and fun. And I believe that really helped me pick my decisions.
Absolutely. I wouldn't agree on the sexy part just because that's weird. But yeah.
That's because you're a hating ass bitch. Let's go down to a double can from 663 of Kyle Lee. This man is on fire. He said, take that, smell my stinky fart over that transition jump.
Absolutely, with no competition in sight. But let's go down to CK and Scuba Steve as they are battling their lives away. Who will take it? It looks like CK did get passed by Scuba Steve, and they are going at it.
Right now, CK is trying to make the move on Scuba Steve. And they are flying, trying to make this an impressive last stand with a little under 3 laps to go. And my God, they are really screaming through this sand section. Look at this battle. Oh, and the 443 of Scuba Steve seems to make a mistake and tuck that front end. Night front end. It's bedtime.
Oh, you hate to see it. CK making that pass and taking charge fully on it with 2 laps to go.
I gotta say, there's some fine race etiquette going on here. Some good battles, really close for the most part in terms of speed when they can all put it together and get on the same track in terms of finding their lines, hitting their marks.
Oh no, CK, it looks like he might be out of gas. He is not going anywhere.
CK running out of gas.
Oh
my goodness.
No.
This is unbelievable.
Oh no, and his Scuba Steve absolutely revs bombs him for slamming into his back tire, not knowing that he did in fact run out of gas. He is sitting there twisting the throttle. Luckily, there is no more carburetors on those, otherwise that bike would be flooded beyond repair. Oh
Absolutely.
Man, super unfortunate for the number 5 of CK.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to say, due to the gas incident, I would have to say we will award you 3rd place. You showed up, you raced a great race. We will be giving you 3rd. I'm not going to say a do not finish because that's a little ridiculous.
Absolutely. We'll definitely give him that 3rd place spot because he, in fact, showed up, raced, and it's on the last lap anyway. So, you know what, CK? We will give you that and your points.
Kyle Lee on his victory lap, absolutely just staying nice and easy, raced his own race, lapped the field, and he's just crashed. It looks like he's just shattered his pelvis and broken his tailbone in 1,000 places, and I didn't even think that was possible.
And it's looking like Scuba Steve is getting the 250 dialed in a lot more and using this Moto 1 as a great warm-up going into Moto 2. So I'm excited to see what kind of challenge he can bring to the table. CK still in that same spot, waving the riders by. Don't hit me. I need this bike for Moto 2. But I can't push it out because I'm stuck in this sand.
Absolutely. In the False Neutral Media series, we definitely have a rule that if your bike dies because you ran out of gas, as humiliation, you have to stay on the track the whole time. That's
just the way the cookie crumbles.
That's Walter Cronkite said it best, brother. You're correct. And that's going to put the candles up for Moto number 1. Kyle Lee coming in first, and a lap down coming shortly behind is the 433 of Scuba Steve aboard that 250 SX KTM. My goodness, what a time to be alive, in CK coming in that third position.
Absolutely, and Kyle Lee actually making it in to the red plate position as of right now. So hopefully we do get to see J-Mac make it in. If not, it's gonna be a battle of wits at the last and final round at Monster Mountain as Scuba Steve gets close to finishing the moto here. Looking
Absolutely
great on his
final
KTM.
section.
Yes.
Oh, and right there we see a little banter back and forth. You see Scuba Steve says, "Oh my gosh, you ran out of gas." But Kyle Lee says, "I smashed this track's ass." What a poem.
Absolutely. That was great right there. That is going to do it for Moto 1, ladies and gentlemen. As we take a little quick break, we are going to start off the warm up so everybody could get back in. Just writing down everybody's positions right now and their points.
Absolutely. A wonderful 1, 2, 3. Just stock 250 was not it. It's okay. I'll be coming in on my Cowie 250. And if we don't have a whole lot of riders, I'll compete if you want.
As Scuba Steve in the live stream chat comments, stock 250 was not it. Getting flashbacks from Paula 23, and I gotta agree with you. Now's the time to change it, brother. Make sure you refill your gas tank before the motos start for everyone. As we take a little break so these riders could either get a drink of water, walk around, make sure that you are as well. Stand up, jog in place, get the blood flowing before we get into these Moto 2s. As we are getting into warm up The warm-up has started, so these riders can use a quick break. And while we're on our break, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, keep those notifications on, drop a like, leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think of this MX Bike series and if you'd like to see more of it. And now is the time, if you are back, to join up and get Moto 2 on the way.
Oh man, I've eaten shit. Fuck. I quadded the back section. I'm following CK. Oh, we both ate shit.
All right. So far, I have not heard anything on JMax's end. So it might be coming down to the wire with the three riders again with a short 1-2. 1-2-3.
And it'll be an excellent round for them to pick up some much needed points.
Absolutely. Even though it is just M3, they got to be happy with this outcome. Just make sure when racing starts, when you clean your bike, make sure you reset your bike, clean it, check that air pressure in both tires, front and back. Fill that gas tank up so you can last the remainder of the moto. We definitely appreciate everybody for stopping by, tuning into the live broadcast. I know that we normally do it on Monday, and the time has changed, so we definitely appreciate it. We know it's a little smaller of an outcome, but that's okay. These riders are taking full advantage of it, especially Kyle Lee now moving up from third place in the championship points to first. I do have to say, I would love to see a lot of these riders do Supercross, so we'll have to look into the next series. Instead of doing outdoors and motocross, we will be going indoors racing Supercross.
Absolutely, Tyler, and we are very excited to see it.
As we are about to close up the warm-up with 30 seconds left, we're watching Death absolutely destroy the track as he pulls off a little bit, and Kyle Lee makes a little pass there, taunting the 33 of Trevor.
I will not stand for that.
Kyle Lee is absolutely just flawless on this track.
Yeah, he's really put in the work, and it tells in his line choice. He is flying. Fuck!
And somehow, as I'm watching Kyle Lee and Scuba Steve somehow joined bodies and bikes.
Incredible. Bless the union.
I don't know how that happened, but they are riding together on the manufacturer of Husky and KTM combined as one.
Kyle Lee said, I don't have enough horsepower. Give me yours.
As warm-up session comes to a close, the riders are going back into the pits to their mechanics and doing a little bike adjustments. Again, all racers, if you're in here spectating or watching the live stream, make sure that you fill your gas tank by hitting, what is it, clean in the pits, in the garage. So what you do is go here, do clean, and it refills. You reset your tire pressure. Look at that. Boom, and you are all set to go. As we give it a little extra time here for riders to get situated. It's going to be 3 on the gate with Kyle Lee, CK, and Scuba Steve.
Let's get into it.
Here we go. Here's the chance to go into the garage. Make sure everything is set, prepped, and ready to rock and roll.
Absolutely. It does look on my end, too, like Kyle is the same as Scuba Steve.
They are both at the gate, joined forces together. It's like Jedi and Sith became friends.
Yeah, this is very reminiscent of the Power Rangers coming together to make Megazord, and that's definitely what we're seeing here. It looks like some sort of multi-armed god holding this dual dirt bike.
Absolutely. We are in the start sequence. It looks like the 15 board is up, turned sideways. We are on Kyle Lee as the gate drops, and we are off. Kyle Lee doing an absolute great wheelie as he falls down. CK getting the whole shot. And CK goes down, so Kyle Lee gets right back to his rear wheel, taking the inside there, and they are both side by side launching off. And it looks like Kyle did a little bit of a smaller line, so he stayed closer to the ground, making that pass on CK.
Absolutely. I don't know what's going on with the footage, but Scuba Steve seems to be in the lead.
Yeah, it looks like Scuba Steve and Kyle are both in the lead. I don't know what's going on here, if they crashed earlier together or what happened. But even if I go to Scuba Steve, it is on Kyle Lee.
We may need to red flag this and have everybody rejoin.
Absolutely. We are gonna do a reset here. We are going to reset the track and reset the race. I don't know why that is happening. Hopefully we figured that out. Let me see if And it looks like they're still joined together. So let me see. We are going to do this. We are going to start the warm-up. We're going to start the warm-up if they want to let me see. Category qualifying. Start. So we're going to reset. We are going to reset the server here for everyone, because that way we can keep track and be able to bring you the best quality on the broadcast.
Absolutely.
Hopefully this fixes the issue, and we will start with the warm-up just to make sure if anything doesn't get fixed.
Absolutely, and I'm seeing Kyle is by himself. He is not a part of Steve at this moment.
Perfect. Yeah,
It
Kyle
seems
Lee.
all three riders are individual.
Kyle Lee said it's weird it showed that Steve and CK were the same bike. Yeah, that was definitely random here. So let's just double check, make sure the warm-up is underway. So it looks like CK is CK, Kyle Lee is Kyle Lee, and Scuba Steve is Scuba Steve. All right.
Let's get it started.
Problem fixed. So we are going to end this warm-up right now and head into the pits. Everybody's going to set their bikes up in the garage. They have about 30 seconds to get ready and get to the gate before the gate drops. For
Absolutely. And we see that all three are aboard the 450. So I am excited to see what's going to happen here in this Moto 2 and see who can get those points and see if Scuba Steve can put it together on the 450.
Absolutely. I am definitely ready for this action. It looks like CK and Scuba Steve definitely might be battling as well, because not to say anything, because anything can happen, especially in this sport during this moto, but it looks like the 30 board is up and sideways and down, and we are about to drop the gate in Moto 2. CK crashing on that first corner. Same with Kyle Lee. It looks like Scuba Steve is out in front. Getting a little squirrely with the sand section. We did reset the track.
Absolutely. I was muted that whole time because I had a little bit of a cough, Tyler.
Unbelievable.
Scuba Steve is taking off in the lead right now, trying to prove that he has the speed on that 450, one that I'm not sure he has much experience on in this season, but trying to claim that horsepower and really using those insides. He is shutting down Kyle Lee's attempts, but Kyle Lee is putting on that charge, and he's really fast here on the inside, so let's watch how he puts it together.
Absolutely. Let's watch.
And it looks like he's just going to try and put on as much pressure on Steve as he can. Kyle feeling confident that he's got this track put together.
Absolutely.
He's moving on that inside line.
Kyle Lee passing that. Oh! Scuba Steve going down.
A bit of a line convergence, and Kyle Lee did what he had to do. He shifted back to that inside line. Oh, and he seems to be having some sort of bike problem, possibly a chain malfunction. He wheels it back into place like the fucking Green Lantern, and he is off back to the races.
Absolutely. The Green Lantern. What a superhero to call out.
And I think what we're seeing here is Kyle is really wanting a battle to test his strength on this track and to show that he has the tenacity to put forward a championship run.
Absolutely, and Scuba Steve riding really well right now on the 450. His mechanic must have put the 250 stickers on the 450.
Absolutely.
But it actually turned out to be the 250.
Absolutely. We see Kyle is really trying to experiment with some lines. He's taking that inside line after he took the outside last lap. And we're seeing Scuba Steve is really trying to put on a charge and give Kyle that battle he so desperately is missing from J-Mac.
Yeah, unfortunately, J-Mac not being able to make it in. Toasty not being able to make it in because they were supposed to have their series, I guess, that Toasty puts on or is in yesterday. But they had to also move it to today around the same time, so it's super unfortunate. A lot of these players are in multiple different series for MxBikes, so it is unfortunate, but like we've been stating all night tonight, it is definitely beneficial for all these riders. Kyle Lee trying to make his way back up top. Scuba Steve doing a phenomenal job on his KTM going through the brake bump area.
Absolutely, and we're going to see Kyle Lee start to put on that pace and pressure as we see Scuba Steve makes a little mistake, and right by goes Kyle Lee on the 663 450 Husqvarna.
Absolutely. Let's see if Scuba Steve can bring it back. All he has to do is be at least a bike length or two away and keep that pressure on Kyle Lee, which he's doing phenomenal on. Goes on the inside.
Kyle Lee is moving to that inside, trying to shut down any pass opportunity, and Scuba Steve is just desperately pulling at the leash to move forward and get that number one spot.
Absolutely. It looks like Kyle Lee got a little breathing room there by a little mix up with Scuba Steve, but that's okay because he's been putting the pressure on and he's not too far behind Kyle Lee.
I'm very impressed seeing Scuba Steve really putting on that charge in securing that second place and really trying to make it happen here as he is right behind Kyle Lee after a mistake. And let's see if he can capitalize it. Kyle tries to move to that backside to block him, but it doesn't work, and Scuba Steve starts to build momentum and is hoping to widen that gap. But here comes Kyle Lee, determined in keeping it sideways lower to the ground. He's going to try and see if he can build that momentum on the inside, but Scuba Steve is going to have more speed. Let's see how Kyle Lee can put it together. He's really fast in this next section, and he's taking
inside. Kyle Lee going down on the inside, washing out the front tire.
Oh. Scuba Steve is really going to help. That's really going to help Scuba Steve in widening that gap as we see he begins to put together that 450 technique, hitting that triple, going off the track somewhat, hoping he doesn't get a cut. But let's see if Kyle Lee can put on the charge and put himself back at the top of this championship.
Absolutely. As we go to CK in third place, having a couple mix-haps just like that. Just the sand really gets you, especially after Moto 1 racing for 20 minutes plus 2 laps.
Absolutely, and Kyle Lee is now putting on the charge, putting that pressure on, but Scuba Steve said, I'm not backing down, I'm wearing my fucking wetsuit.
Absolutely, and it is soaked.
incredible. We've got the Scuba Steve in first and the Great White Shark of Kyle Lee chasing him down on that Husqvarna. And here it goes to make the pass on the inside.
Outside.
Scuba Steve not having that momentum to argue back. He's going to try and put on a charge in this next section.
Absolutely. Kyle Lee definitely using all of the track to his advantage, making those passes, staying consistent, even with little bobbles as he launches down, going over the finish line jump. But here comes Scuba Steve, both going on the outside into the rhythms here in the whoops.
And I will say this, in past series, anytime there's been a sand section, Kyle Lee has usually been pretty strong in those sections. This is the first time we're getting a look at Scuba Steve really putting together that top three, even first place charge. So it's really cool to see, and I hope that this gives Scuba Steve a little bit of an incentive, right? And a little bit of motivation as he continues this series, as he's really starting to put together these 450 lines on that KTM.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more with you on that statement.
But it is getting hard to ignore the speed and the momentum of Kyle Lee as he's widened that gap to about 2.5 seconds, pushing 3. But Scuba Steve said, I'm not done yet. We've got 11 minutes just over, and I'm going to push till the end.
Absolutely. Kyle Lee is just absolutely dominating the field, and he gets washed out as Scuba Steve passes him. So he's got some work to get done. And it looks like we are going to have a good battle on our hands down to the last lap for these points. Kyle Lee as the red plate holder so far right now due to riders being sick and not being able to make it into this round.
Absolutely. Kyle Lee right now needs to make a statement and sweep this round if he wants to excel his place in the point standing for that cash prize. But I gotta say, I'm really impressed with Scuba Steve, because remember what I said about championship contenders, right? These riders are wanting to be cool, calm, collected, right? They're really wanting to be consistent as well, and those 4 C's really do make for a great end of the race. And we're seeing both of them are showing that they can be consistent when they need to be and handle the pressure when it comes on, keeping them cool and calm and collected. But Kyle Lee right now is moving quick and trying to put that pressure on as he moves to that inside. But Scuba Steve is not willing to concede the point.
Scuba Steve
Lee
bobbling a little bit. Kyle Lee taking the inside, making the pass. And they both are launching. Oh, a little cross jump action there, but it's okay. They're both. Oh! What a battle we got going on. Kyle Lee showing it right back.
Oh!
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a race in this Moto 2, and we are here for it.
Scuba Steve said, you're not the only one that can play games. I'm willing to play games too, as they're showing each other the front wheel and banging bars. There's
there's a block pass. It takes out Kyle Lee by Scuba Steve.
Kyle Lee knowing now he cannot allow this battle to continue as it risks his championship contention when he goes into the final round against J-Mac. Kyle Lee is definitely riding pissed as hell and is coming for revenge. And Scuba Steve is saying, hey, you wanted to play ball, you wanted to play games, let's play some games.
Absolutely, and it looks like CK actually got disconnected again like the last round, unfortunately, and that's going to put him in a DNF.
Unfortunate. And here comes Kyle Lee putting on that charge, and let's see if there's any retaliation. Kyle Lee makes a bubble and goes down, and Scuba Steve holds that lead as we cross into 8 minutes left in this Moto 2. Tyler, how are you feeling and what are your predictions?
Honestly, I am all here for this race, even though it is mano y mano, 1v1. It is going to be coming down to the wire because both of these riders are on top of their game right now. The phalanges are warmed up. They must be drinking some Mountain Dew because they are nothing but flying right now in Moto 2.
Absolutely, Tyler. I feel right now like I'm back in the early 2000s release of Halo, drinking Mountain Dew game fuel and just absolutely having the time of my life watching this battle come to a head with 7 minutes left. Is Scuba Steve is holding that lead, but here comes Kyle on the inside, taking some different lines and really shaving down that lead. And here he comes in. They are racing nice and clean.
My Lanta.
And we'll have to see if Kyle Lee can stay cool, calm, and collected and remain consistent as he moves past on the outside and he's trying to push the envelope. We'll see if he makes any sort of contact as he comes into sections where he is finding a lot of speed every single lap.
And I'm not going to lie, I think after this race, as they're battling with all their might, we might have to bring them into the live channel after the race to get their input on this final moto.
Absolutely. It'll be nice to hear from them about how they felt about the sand section. And Scuba Steve goes down. My goodness. 6 minutes left in the moto, just over, and Kyle Lee is holding on to that lead, trying to stay consistent, and Scuba Steve just got cross-rutted trying to keep up the pace.
Absolutely. It's not over yet. We have seen it time and time again. Both riders have gone down and got right back up, making their way to the rear wheel of their competition. And a lot of mistakes have been going in this because they're actually absolutely pushing the limits and trying to make up a lot of points as they can for this prize pool and the championship of bragging rights for the False Neutral Media MxBikes series.
Absolutely. And after this, correct me if I'm wrong, we're going into our final round at Monster Mountain.
We are.
Heavily preferred 250 track.
Absolutely.
How do you think that's going to show the versatility of these riders, or do you think most of them will pick 450s and try and temper the power?
Honestly, I don't know. It's definitely, I feel, even riding it myself, a 250 track. Because I feel like the 450 is just way too much power, but you have enough speed to stay in control, clear everything, and some on a 250. So I do wonder what bike these riders are going to pick for the final round and what they're going to bring to the table.
Absolutely. I think that's something we should check in with Scuba Steve and Kyle as soon as this moto commences in just over 4 minutes. And
Absolutely. Scuba Steve doing the best he can. He is aware that there is a big gap on the table now behind about 2 sections of the track. So he could just be taking, you know what? I'll take the 22 extra points, which will put him in a good spot in the points for the series, with Kyle Lee possibly, how it's looking, might go 1-1 on the night.
Absolutely. And I think it is very interesting that Scuba Steve finding this sort of, this speed, this tenacity to fight as he's battling Kyle Lee in our 3rd round here. I wonder how Scuba Steve is going to see if he can use that momentum to put up a challenge in the final round to see if he can maneuver his way into one of those top 3 positions in the championship.
Absolutely.
But the talk right now, in my opinion, is Kyle Lee, somebody who has shown up every single race, done his best to podium, and put himself into points contention. This reminds me of a Cooper Webb in the middle of a supercross season where he just locks in and starts to look very comfortable on the bike. And this is just to show you, Kyle Lee has spoken to us during this week saying, I've been practicing as much as I can on the sand, and I'm feeling really comfortable on that 450. So I'm excited to talk to him after.
Absolutely. Yeah, right now he is just looking absolutely flawless. He doesn't have the pressure of Scuba Steve behind him, so now he is just riding his race, taking the lines that he knows best without any pressure, and he is definitely making a statement here today.
Absolutely, and I think Scuba Steve is looking at this series, right, is putting stuff together so that he can make a charge for this next one. And I firmly believe we shouldn't be discounting Scuba Steve, is he's got the speed to hang with Kyle Lee, who's been podium position all race series. So to see how
Oh no, Kyle Lee going over the bars. This does give Scuba Steve some time to catch up a little bit. Kyle Lee having a little trouble getting back on, but he is back on and getting his momentum back.
And we'll see if Scuba Steve can put something together. But I will say, these are long motos. These guys are going to get tired, even just holding that controller. I don't want to break the immersion, but 20 minutes plus a couple of laps, just being focused as much as possible on the racetrack and making sure you're hitting your marks and in the right position that you need to be. This shit gets tiring, and I can understand if Scuba Steve is saying, I'm just going to race my race for me. I'm proud of the battle that I put on, and I'm happy with my position here in second in getting those points like you said.
Absolutely.
Right now, getting close to the white flag, indicating that we only have a little bit left, 30 seconds on the race and then 2 laps. Kyle Lee is looking incredible on this lap.
Yeah, Scuba Steve is at the point right now in this moto to just stay consistent, do the best he can, make the right line choices, stay consistent, and maybe it'll work out for him with 2 laps remaining.
Right. And we're seeing with the fastest lap in this race here, we've got Kyle Lee putting a 144.399 on lap number 8. His consistent speed was 63.5 kilometers per hour. And
Wow.
Scuba Steve clocking in a 149.693, with the gap being around 6 seconds right there. And I think the incredible thing, right, or the 6-second gap between the two of them as they're trying to close in. What we're seeing here, though, is Scuba Steve, while not able to race as fast of a lap time at his peak, is showing that he does have the race IQ to absolutely put together a battle and hold that lead for as long as he can.
Absolutely. I love the section and line choices that Kyle Lee is taking, especially in the line section that we just saw, using the insides to his advantage and standing up through the whole section on the track.
Yeah, I definitely think that Kyle Lee has done his research, put his best foot forward in this racing series as he clinches that red plate going into the final round. How would you be feeling as Kyle Lee at the end of this moto sweep in the third round going into the final round. What would you think is important as we hit the white flag final lap?
Oh man, that's a great question, Trev. Honestly, if I was Kyle Lee, I'd think that I was a butterfly about to hatch from my cocoon as a caterpillar, and it's only up from here. He's putting in the work, putting in the time, and it definitely shows. He definitely has realized, hey, there is good competition in this, but I am one of those guys to be a competitor. As he bobbles a little bit, goes down right there in the sand. I think he got a little arm pump there on this final lap, but he knows that he has a great gap right now and is just trying to make it through this last lap and throw it around for the crowd over the jumps as he has been doing. And it's always been great watching him, but if I was him, I'd be excited. Hey, not going to get a big head after this. Not everybody was here. Everybody's sick or has injuries right now. And we still have one more round to go. I might have the red plate, but I'm going to go into the final round if I'm still in third place, battling to make up points. And I think that's exactly what he's going to do and put in the time this next coming week at Monster Mountain like he did for this track at Abydos. And I think he's honestly going to put it together and give us a show between him and J-Mac.
And I think that's kind of the question is, how does this impact Kyle Lee going into that final round with his mentality of always trying to battle J-Mac and get the better of him? I just want to know how he's feeling with the confidence of getting a moto win in both motos, taking the sweep here at Abydos. So I'm excited to bring Kyle in here and get a quick word from him once this race comes to a head. His Scuba Steve is still showing us he's here. His tank is full of gas, and he is going to see it through to the finish. In CK, unfortunately, with the DNF disconnect, we're really sorry about that, but we hope that doesn't happen in the final round. But there we go. Scuba Steve coming across with second for second overall. 1, 2, 3 on the evening. What a race. What an absolute race.
An absolute race. Great job. Kyle Lee going 1-1 on the day. Scuba Steve going 2-2 on the day, making them boost their points lead by far. And like you said, unfortunately, CK on this second moto, D and F, which is always a bummer. But yeah, let's definitely, if the riders are both in here, if they could go into the Discord, we will drag them in if they go into the chat room, and we'll bring them up into the live show, whether it's one at a time or both of them at once.
100%. Yeah, if Scuba Steve and Kyle can make their way into the Discord, we will pull them in. Let's do Scuba Steve first, and then Kyle if we can.
Yo, boys.
Kyle, how does it feel?
It feels great, man. It feels real good. almost decrowned the champ last round, and this round I get 1-1. What could be better? No.
What could be better? Incredible. Scuba Steve.
Trying to throw it down. Made a few mistakes there.
Scuba Steve. We're gonna start the questions with Scuba. We'll get to Kyle last and give him the final say, the final word. But Scuba Steve, you started Moto 1 on the 250 and then moved to the 450. Was that something you expected going into Moto 2 to be something that made a difference?
Yeah, this track has a lot of long straightaways and it's sand, so the extra power definitely helps. I think I was about 6 or 7 seconds faster.
Absolutely. And did you feel that the 450 was easily maneuverable, say on those inside lines that you were taking early in the race?
Yeah, I was just trying to block the inside. I didn't want Kyle to get an easy pass on me. My dad told me never get passed on the inside, so I was trying to do him proud. But
Absolutely.
I was trying.
I will
Tyler,
say
you
that
have any
was
questions?
that was an amazing battle, even though it was, you two on the wire from going to the 250. How was it going from the 250 to the 450 in that last one, being like, okay, I could actually put in some work here and give Kyle a run for his money?
I ripped both hole shots in the 450, even before the restart. Not gonna lie.
I
Absolutely.
I showed up late. Missed practice. All I had was a 250 out. No setup on it. I don't have an outdoor setup for the 250. It was a little rough. The thing was slow, real slow. Then I switched to the 450, a lot of more power. Actually had a setup for it. This is the first time I've ever ridden the KTM outdoors, though. I've been racing a lot of Supercross. Haven't really touched outdoors since the last round that I raced with you guys, but yeah.
Incredible.
Absolutely. And going into the final round at Monster Mountain, what are kind of your expectations or your goals leading into that?
Oh,
I'm just going for a top 3. I will say Monster Mountain's probably one of my favorite tracks right now. I did race it last night with my brother, actually. I raced one race, took a dub, so I think I won by 25 seconds. So, might have some competition there, Kyle.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can't wait for it. And as we congratulate you for taking P2 on the night, Kyle Lee. Going
What's up?
1-1. We know that it was a little less riders on the gate. You didn't have to battle J-Mac, even though you've been working as all week. As you've been letting me know, what was going through your mind? How did you feel, even though it was just a small amount of riders, but you knew that, hey, I can make up points right now and take the points lead?
It felt great to actually win, but I put on a lot of laps today in testing because I thought everybody was gonna be here, but like it was only me and Scuba Steve. But it felt good.
Yeah, that definitely makes 4 of us.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, quick question for you. Were
Yeah.
you expecting Scuba Steve to rip out of the gate ready to battle you the entire first part of Moto 2? And how did you react when he started putting some pressure on?
I made a few mistakes in the beginning because I did not expect that. So and then I gathered it, and I put some laps in and got the win.
Incredible. Scuba
Yep.
Steve, we're seeing replays that I'm visualizing in my mind like a dream that the gods have sent me. But there was an interesting pass where you blocked off the inside.
It was so good.
And immediately Kyle tucked the front end. How did you feel in that moment?
Well, we were racing pretty clean, and then he kind of hopped over a rut, almost took me out. Didn't really like that too much, so I think I took him out in the next corner, and then he just had the pace. That was kind of my only move there, was to go for the front tire.
Right. And Kyle, how did you feel when that front of the Husqvarna tucked immediately as Scuba Steve pushed his back tire into it?
I was pissed, dude. I tried getting him back. I tried getting him back, but there's really it's like such a tight track that there's like no corners to really block past on, but that one corner. Now I was trying to like Deegs Joe Schmoto him and let him go in front of me so I could take him out, but I couldn't.
Now,
It was weird, yeah.
I'll just ask you this. Did you feel like you were more comfortable in first with pressure coming from second place trying to catch you? Or did you feel a lot more comfortable in second place hunting after Scuba Steve?
I'm always more comfortable out in front, like it's like I always kind of crumble under the pressure whenever somebody's like in front of me, and you've seen that in the past races too. So
Right.
yeah.
I do got to ask you, Kyle Lee, I need you to explain your Discord profile picture.
Profile picture. I got it off the TikTok. You know how people like people put those pictures in the comments. Yeah, I just got it from there.
Well, it's fantastic. And before we end the night on a good note, I kind of want to hear what your guys' thoughts for this next coming round at Indy with the SMX race. We'll talk a little bit about that. What were your guys' thoughts about Daytona, just real quick, and then going into this next race with SMX with Supercross?
I thought Daytona was cool. Like, yeah, I don't really remember much, but Tomac getting his tooth chipped. That's about it.
Incredible.
Yeah, but I really hope Cole Davies wins this next round, though. I'm a fan.
We
Yeah,
can
I'm pulling for
only
Katie,
hope.
too.
Yeah, same here. Now,
I will say, I don't think Daytona was really Joe's track. I don't think he was he's 100%. I think it was a really physically demanding track. Same for Hunter Lawrence. I just don't think it was his track, his night. But I think they got some the next couple rounds.
I agree completely. Speaking of the next couple rounds, I want to hear from Scuba Steve first, then we'll get to Kyle to wrap this up. What is your mindset going into this next round at Monster Mountain, and will you be racing a 450 or a 250? Scuba Steve, we'll start with you.
I haven't touched that track on a 450. I'm probably gonna do some testing here this week, honestly. See what the lap times are looking like, and definitely putting my elbows up for the next round. So whoever's out there better watch out.
Absolutely. You heard it here first. The Scuba Assassin is coming to take out J-Mac. Kyle, let's have you answer the question as well. What's your mindset going into the final round? You know you may have to face J-Mac. How are you preparing for that? And are you racing a 250 or 450?
I'm going to stick with the Husky 450. But I really hope J-Mac shows up next round because it sounds like he was scared to race me today on the harder track.
Oh!
You know? Yep. Because
Incredible.
I basically got him on Countryside, right? In that last moto, I crashed, still got up, finished in front of him, but on the leaderboards, I was second. But
Yeah, that inside was I was watching that moto. That inside there kind of cost you.
I know it did, yeah.
So it's just kind of putting together, hitting your marks, not getting cuts, and staying on the pace. Wonderful. I'm excited to see what happens next round. Thank you guys so much. Tyler, back to you.
Absolutely. Again, thank you guys. Congratulations. Kyle Lee moving into with the red plate going into the final round. And how excited are you to possibly take the whole championship and the $100 for first place?
I'm stoked, dude.
Hell yeah.
I'm stoked.
All right. Well, we will see you guys in the next one. I believe if I get back in time from Texas, because I fly in Monday, I believe it's a morning flight, so I should be home at a decent time. If I am, we'll definitely run it. Not next Monday, but the Monday after that. And I am definitely looking forward to it. And Scuba Steve, you definitely made up a lot of points from having some issues in round one, I think you said, and a lot of crashing just due to a lot of people on the track in that first corner, if I remember, and then not being able to make it for round two. So awesome to see you guys both here, even though it was a little...
I ran out of gas in round one.
That...
The second to last jump, I was trying to push my bike up to the finish, but
Yeah, there's a rule that we have set in place. If you run out of gas, we force you to stay still the whole time. So
Yeah. You can't move.
Yeah, no, I followed the rules. Don't worry about that.
oh
Incredible,
man,
gentlemen.
well, thank
so
you
much.
guys, and we will see you at round 4, the final round. Congratulations, and we will see you guys then.
Yep, see you then.
Thanks, Tyler. Thanks, Trevor. Later.
Later, guys. Congratulations.
All right, everybody, that is definitely gonna do it for the night. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Keep up to date, and we will see you. We got the podcast releasing tomorrow from and after Daytona, leading up into Indy. We will see you then. Thank you so much. This is False Neutral Media. Trevor, do you have anything to say before we close?
Yeehaw.
I couldn't agree more. We'll see you next time. This is False Neutral Media. I'm Tyler, co-host Trevor. Peace.